With all the news recently about the new Football Manager games that we've got on the horizon, it's about time we start getting excited for what's coming soon. And one of those things, of course, will be new Wonderkids that get added to the next instalment of the Football Manager series. So we thought, why not look ahead and pick out 10 players who we think are going to be top-level Wonderkids in FM24. Hello everyone, Jake here for FMSCOUT, and as mentioned today, we'll be taking a look at some potential Wonderkids for FM24. Before we get started though, I'm going to ask you guys to let me know in the comments down below which players you're looking forward to seeing in the next installment. And just as a disclaimer, this doesn't necessarily mean these players are new players to the game, but at least they will be new players to that potential Wonderkid category. But just to put it out there, these are players that aren't rated as Wonderkids in FM23 on our FMSCOUT Wonderkid list. So we've got 10 players to look at. We'll go through them one by one. I know stuff about some of them. Other players have came from research of online articles and whatnot. I'll save some of the best till last, but we're going to get into it now. If you do enjoy the video, smash the like button for us, subscribe for more, and our first player is Luca Vuskovic. Now, his brother, I believe, is playing for Hamburg. I did a Hamburg rebuild on my channel recently. His brother was brilliant at centre-back. Then from the comments, I found out that in real life, this centre-back has been banned for some doping reasons. But either way, his brother, Luca Vuskovic here, is a player that looks like he has got a big career ahead of him. He's currently playing in Croatia for Hajduk Split, which is also his place of birth apparently. He's a centre-back who's very tall, 16 years of age, and he's already capped the under-17 Croatia team on 5 different occasions. Some of the players on this list won't actually have a transfer valuation yet, but Vuskovic is one of the few that does, and Transfer Market have listed him at £6 million. Clearly, he's a very high-rated centre-back, already a big part of Croatia's under-17 side, and I assume his presence in the game is only going to improve. And as far as Football Manager goes, he is going to be a player that loads of people will be after if he is available to be signed. Of course, not being the most expensive because of the league he's in. So a lot of FM players might be after this guy. And as much as you don't want to believe rumours and whatnot, if we do click the rumours page, you will see that since March of 2023, there's been linked to Manchester City, PSG, and now Man City again. So maybe there's some more information there that I don't know about. But Vuskovic is clearly a very talented player and one of the few defenders that we've got on this list that we're expecting to do big things in FM24. Next, we're on to a player that I didn't know too much about before recording this video, but it seems there is quite a lot of hype around him. And just to let you know, I'll be covering 10 players in this video. We've actually got a full list that you can find linked in the description down below if you want to take a look at it in written format. Some names that I haven't mentioned in this video that still look like great promising talents, but we're looking at a centre forward who can also play out wide here, and his name is Jonah Kusi-Asare. He's playing for AIK's under-17 side out in the Swedish divisions, but he's also got Ghanaian representation, and he is someone that looks very promising. There's been a lot of famous Swedish strikers in the past, from Larsson to Ibrahimovic, and recently, of course, we've got Alexander Isak, who's tearing it up at Newcastle. Maybe Jonah Kusi-Asare is going to be another name that we'll recognise in a few years' time. There's clearly a lot of hype around him. After searching his name on Google, there were a few articles linking him to, I think, Inter, Juve, Bayern as well at another point, so clearly someone that a lot of people have a lot of faith in, but he's probably one of those in the list that I have the least information on, but clearly someone that's predicted to do well, and if we see him in FM24, there's a good chance he will be a Wonderkid. Next, we're moving on to a player who's near enough guaranteed to be one of the best new Wonderkids of FM24, I'm certain of it. I actually thought he would play a part in FM23, but it wasn't to be because of age restrictions and whatnot, and this is Nwaneri, who plays for Arsenal's under-18s, as of like 2 days ago, was given a scholarship. He's a 16-year-old, and there's a lot of hype around him. I think Man City and Chelsea were also trying to prize him away from Arsenal, but Arsenal have ended up signing the deal, supposedly with the idea that they're going to give him some game time over the next couple of years. He's very well thought of in English football, and clearly at Arsenal too. I think he was actually the youngest player in Premier League history or something crazy like that. Whether Arteta actually believed in him to be a game changer and brought him on, or brought him on to convince him to sign the contract at Arsenal, I don't know, but he has got some Premier League minutes now. He's been tearing up the under-18s Premier League with 7 goals and 5 assists in 16 appearances, playing for England's under-17s as well, with 8 goals and 17 international appearances, and as you can see, was very, very highly linked to Manchester City. But it looks like he's now settling down at Arsenal, a player who can play behind the striker or out wide. He's someone that I think we're going to see a lot of in FM24. Even though he might be very expensive, he is going to have very high potential. We're staying in England for our next player, player, and we're looking at one of the hottest prospects in Manchester United's academy, Shea Lacey. He was born in 2007, and the 16-year-old has been tearing it up for Manchester United's under-18s. You can see also getting some appearances for England's under-15s, and he's very well thought of in the Manchester United academy, also by fans of Man U, maybe overestimating him a little bit at the age of 16. I mean, I've searched up some information on these players before I started talking about them. Shea Lacey here is apparently being compared to Lionel Messi after incredible goal. 4 articles down, there's another one that says Manchester United's answer to Lionel Messi. Obviously, is not going to be the case, but supposedly only scores wonder goals, has scored a goal of the season contender, and I really wouldn't be surprised if he is integrated into FM24 to see him as one of the most talented options on that wing. And I really won't be surprised if he's one of the most talented wonder kids in FM24 Manchester United academy. Ten Hag has seemed to show a willingness to use youth in some matches, so maybe we will see Shea Lacey appearing for Manchester United across the next couple of years. Who knows? There's a lot of hype around him, and I'm fairly certain he will be a wonder kid in FM24. And of course, we knew this player was going to be in the list. It is Ethan Mbappé of Paris Saint-Germain, who isn't a wonder kid in Football Manager as of yet, but there's a good chance he will be. Look, the jury's out on this player. Is he really talented, and that's why he's been training with PSG's first team? Is it because he's Mbappe's brother, and because Mbappé is on such a huge contract with so much responsibility? Is that the reason Ethan Mbappé is getting a chance in the first team? I don't know. He hasn't had any appearances yet, according to Transfer Market. Maybe I've missed something, but I remember seeing he had trained with PSG's first team at one point. He's a central midfielder, not quite like his brother, plays in a more defensive phase of the game by the looks of it. But as far as Football Manager goes, because he has had that training with the first team, I'm sure they're going to put his potential on the higher end, and we're going to see another Mbappé wonder kid coming through in the game. Speaking of players that are related to other footballers, we've got Shane Kluivert here of Barca's under-16s. Of course, the son of Patrick Kluivert, his brother Justin has recently moved to AFC Bournemouth, and there's a lot of hype around Shane as well. He's been through PSG's youth academy, ended up at Barca in their under-16s now, has played plenty of times for the Netherlands under-16s team, and whilst he isn't the jewel in the crown of Barca's youth academy, we'll get onto him later, Shane Kluivert here is someone there's a lot of hype around. It might be too young for him to be in FM just yet, only the age of 15. I'm never quite sure how it works in terms of what age players need to be allowed to be in the game, but either way, Shane Kluivert, if he does get added to the next instalment of Football Manager, you can bet he's going to have potential, and you can bet people are going to sign him just to try and make him turn out a little bit like his dad. Speaking of players that have got a famous dad, we've got Shaqueel van Persie here, who of course is the son of Robin van Persie. After him, we're going to look at 3 players I consider to be the best talents in this list, but Shaqueel is a player who there's a lot of interest in, of course because of a name, but actually he has looked pretty impressive so far in his budding career. He's played 5 times for the Netherlands under-17 side and scored once, can play as a centre forward or on the wing. He currently finds himself in Feyenoord's youth teams, having passed through Fenerbahce and also Manchester City. I'm pretty sure wherever his dad was, he followed around in the academies, but now he's doing his own thing. He's in the under-18 team, and his manager there is Robin van Persie, so I'm sure there might be a little bit of bias and he'll get a few minutes on the pitch. But of course, as it always is with famous players and their sons, there's going to be a lot of interest to see if a player can live up to their famous fathers. Whether it will happen with Shaqueel is another question, and he's also at a club that are likely to give opportunity to young players, so maybe Shaqueel will get his chance at Feyenoord sometime in the near future. And now we get on to some of the players that I think are going to have the highest potential in all of the game, whether it's new wonder kids or wonder kids that have already been in the game from FM23. I think these 3 are going to be some of the best new entries that we're going to see. Firstly, we've got Kendry Paez here. The Ecuadorian looks like he's got the world at his feet, was playing out in the Ecuadorian divisions, but has since been signed by Chelsea. He'll come over to Chelsea in a couple of years. He's breaking all kind of age-related records for his nation. It doesn't say it here, but I'm sure he did at least get called up for Ecuador's first team. Whether he played or not, I'm not sure, but he's someone that's been playing, look, for their under-20s, and he's not long turned 16, and it's not even like, oh, he's playing with them but not doing great. I mean, for the under-17s team, he was smashing it as a 15-year-old. Then he got into the under-20s. Chelsea have got in there and signed him from Ecuadorian club Independiente, and he's not currently in FM23, but he will be added to FM24, I'm sure, and he is going to be another one in that roster of young players that Chelsea are assembling. He's going to be amongst some of the best young talent in the world, and there's a very good chance in a few years he will be a household name. Next, we have Mikey Moore. This player gained a lot of attention recently when there was a lot of interest in him before he signed his proper contract at Tottenham. There were clubs from all over the world interested, as reported by Fabrizio Romano and David Ornstein, and Spurs are seeing it as a real coup that they've been able to sign Mikey Moore down for the future. He's been seen as one of the most promising talents in young English football currently. 5 goals in 7 games for the England under-16 side. You can see in the under-18s Premier League, he's scored 3 and assisted 4 in 10 matches, and then you check his age and realise he's only 15. I'm reading it right now on my phone, but apparently he's signed on until he's 17, and then he'll get given a pro contract when he's 17. And if he continues his current development at the way he's going, the way he's scoring goals and creating goals at such a young age, this man is going to have a real promising future. So keep your eye out for him. Mikey Moore, maybe the next Harry Kane, who knows? It will depend how Spurs get on with him. Maybe he'll just end up in the lower divisions, but as far as FM24 is concerned, I'm pretty sure if this man is in it, he is going to have insane potential. And that brings us to our final player, and the player that I imagine most of you are expecting to see. He is someone that I think will be in the top 5 highest potential players in FM24. It's Lamine Yamal of Barcelona, who Xavi himself has been comparing to Lionel Messi. And this is a man that played with Messi and would say that no one was comparable to this guy. He is saying there are elements of Messi's game in Lamine Yamal, and he is seen as the real future of Barcelona. But at the age of 15, he's got 2 top goal scorer awards. He's won some Spanish trophies. He's playing for the Spanish under-17 side, where he's played 10 games and scored 8 goals. Remember, he is only 15, a right winger who's able to cut in and also play in a few different positions. He's done well at every single age group. And yes, just to confirm it, I have searched it up. He has made his debut for Barcelona's first team already, being the youngest Barcelona debutant ever at 15 years and 9 months old. So this is younger than even Lionel Messi appeared for the club. Lamine Yamal is the real deal. He is someone that we think there's going to be a very bright future for going forward. He's trained with the first team already. He's played with them. And who knows, maybe it'll be a couple of years till Barcelona really integrate him, or maybe straight away he's going to get some opportunities next year. That development will be insane for him. And I think as far as potential in FM24 goes, Yamal is going to be one of the highest potential players in the whole game. Let me know who you're looking forward to seeing in FM24 though. That's my 10 picks. Whether any of them will actually come good, it's obviously a big game of if, buts and maybes and guesses, but I think these 10 are pretty safe bets that will see them as good Wonderkids in either FM24 or FM25. Do like the video if you did enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.